for Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Of the NASRA Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series. Brady LaBeouf will win the championship and the race in the Butt Kicker 250.
Keith Bradley gets his second championship on the Friday Night Series for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series Season 8. This rookie season, he will win the championship for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
The playoffs continue for the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series. Of course, we are ready to roll here at the Lady in Black, the track that is too tough to tame, Darlington Raceway. Welcome to our coverage of the ServPro 200 Virtual iRacing from Darlington Raceway and the next round of the playoffs. Welcome to you and yours. I'm Wesley Outland. The Viking, Stephen Bartlett, is alongside up in Oregon. I'm in North Carolina. Australian, Mr. Biggles, Dean Hopton, or as my colleague from last night, Jacob Reeves, called Australian Biggles Dean, is obviously on the production. We're ready to roll. The field is rolling, and we're ready to introduce the starting lineup for the next playoff race at the ServPro 200 as they are rolling down the front straightaway. Colin Weatherholt, Jonathan Cofield make up row number 1. Darren Bruce, Brady LaBeouf, Season 2 champion, row 2. Then you've got Nate Maurer, Stephen Thomas in that third row. Jacob Reeves and James Kaufman, row 4. Tyler Dittmer, who had the privilege of working with last night in the Halloween 500. That driver out of course, Washington State is 9th. Phil Pappas will fire off 10th. And, of course, Stephen Gregory and Bo Tiffany from New York to Carolina, row number 6.
And row number 7, we have Adam Newton and Chad Ross. Row 8, Justin White, Tyler Goodwin. Row 9, Craig Schroeder, Justin Lumpkin. And row 10, Jeffrey Johnson and Chris Blanchard. Row 11, Tyler Peacock and Cole Hendrickson. Row 12, Andrew Harris and Kerry Chabot.
Moving on to row 13, you're going to find Adam Newton and Chad Ross, Justin White, Tyler Goodwin. Row 19, row number, I'm sorry. I'm losing my place. My apologies. That's the first. Kerry Chabot starts 24th, so I need to find the rest of the lineup here. And that is going to be the drivers of my apologies. Raul Meza, Cole Hendrickson, followed by, of course, in addition to that, Kerry Chabot, Fred Lester, Peyton Hubbard, and Jason Morales. So there is the lineup right there. TJ Moore is the race director. Cody Knott will also flank the back, as that is the lineup for the drivers ready to roll here at Darlington Raceway. Let's take a look at the race analysis. Remember, the drivers in yellow are playoff contenders. Ones in red are in the playoffs, but they're right now on the outside looking in. Here's your 150-lap race distance for the ServPro 200 miles, 150 laps. Stage 1 will go to lap 30, then the caution. Stage 2 to lap 90, and then they'll have that 60-lap run to the checkered flag at lap number 150. 5 sets of tires, 4 more are available in the pit lane, 3 attempts at overtime, and we are ready to roll with racing here in just a moment as the field is on that Boeing back straightaway. What used to be the front stretch here at Darlington Raceway, now in the backstretch area. And now the field is ready to come down to the front stretch. Pace truck is onto the pit lane. Playoffs, Darlington. It's time to bring the action. iRacing Monday night. Nazareth comes to green here. And we're underway in the ServPro 200. A track, Stephen, that is very brutal on trucks, on drivers. If you're not careful, you'll slam into the wall and get one of those famed Darlington stripes. We already got trucks dropping to the bottom of the apron. Maurer and others in trouble. We got one already spinning, slamming into the safer barrier. I believe that's Craig Schroeder. We'll stay green, though, as they dive into 3, Stephen.
Yeah, this is a very, very tough track. She's given that nickname Lady in Black for a reason. It's hard to keep your truck or car on the line and in line without earning that stripe. So this will be an interesting race. See how many earn their stripe tonight.
Darlington giveth, and Darlington can taketh away just like that. Right now, Colin Weatherholt up on the outside safer barrier, hugging up against that wall, leads them off of turn number 4. Here they come down to the line. Cofield in 2. Bruce, LaBeouf, Thomas, top 5, single file. They're back to 1.
Colin Weatherholt out there in the lead. Jonathan Cofield right behind him, along with Darren Bruce, Brady LaBeouf, Stephen Thomas. These guys have pretty much all single file now, which I think is a smart move. It's like we mentioned, this is a tough track. It's hard to pass even.
Watching all of them again hit that back straightaway. Colin Weatherholt still the leader, followed by Chad Ross. Watching the guy try to battle in the top 10, Chad Ross and Bo Tiffany. That was a battle I was watching a moment ago. Was right now, Cofield, Bruce, they're all single file. This is the best thing to do right now, especially to get through those first couple of stages, because this is a wild place here at Darlington, Stephen.
Yes, it is. And we got somebody passing on the inside. Can't quite tell who that is. A little farther away than passing
Is that
Pappas.
Pappas? Yeah, making that move up on the high side here. We saw that truck. That's the number. Oh, I want to say, was that Gregory, I believe it was, that went for the pass. All this happening now. Tyler Dittmer also cracking into the top 10 along with Reeves.
Jonathan Cofield 2 tenths behind Weatherholt at the moment, and Darren Bruce a tenth of a second behind Jonathan Cofield as we look at the leaders now coming out of turn 1 into 2. Another truck diving down to the apron. It's real easy to do that when you come off these turns. They kind of grab you and almost want to throw you down there.
Another lap. Cross the stripe. There you see, of course, the 24, Brady LaBeouf up on the high side. And we got a caution, trouble on the racetrack. This will put out our first caution. Remember we mentioned Craig Schroeder with a problem in that Scooter's Coffee Chevrolet. He's the guy that hit the safer barrier on the bottom of the racetrack in the start of the race, but we're trying to find out what the caution's for. It might be for him again.
I think it was Chris
Blanchard. It might be
Blanchard.
someone else. Yeah.
Chris Blanchard, I saw him slamming on his brakes coming out of the turn.
Here's a look at a replay now. Why we're under caution for the first time.
Yeah, Blanchard just gets loose coming out of the turn. It's not hard to do here at this track, and causes the caution to come out. Luckily, he was able to save the track. Didn't run into any of the walls or the safer barrier, so that's a good thing there.
A caution coming out. It is our first one of the race. Well, I would not think right now anybody would be coming down the pit road right now at this time, Stephen. Not just too early, right?
Yeah, it's way too early. I think the only ones that will come down are maybe the ones that have self-spun coming out of the turns. They might replace some tires, but majority of the guys are going to stay out.
So the caution coming out here at the ServPro 200. Of course, the caution flags are presented by ServPro. Fire, water, cleanup, and restoration. Big thanks to ServPro. We're getting started at Darlington. The lady in black is Where we are, we got Colin Weatherholt, Jonathan Cofield, Darren Bruce, Brady LaBeouf, and Stephen Thomas. Right now, your top 5. Some are coming down pit road in the back. This will let us step away. We'll be back with more in just a moment from Darlington.
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
You want to take another break? So we have drivers on pit road, service being done with some more trucks as we see Craig Schroeder and Fred Lester, others on pit road for works being gone. So still under the caution flag.
Yeah, Dean, they're live. They're coming out of turn 4 now, getting ready to cross the start-finish line. So we should
you're
see
on the
that
back
coming up
stretch.
anytime.
You're on the back stretch with your camera angle there. Everybody, please bear with us. We might need to step away to take a quick network timeout. We'll be right back with more here from Darlington in just a moment. We're back here at the Darlington Raceway. Looks like we're getting ready for the restart. Have a little technical issues we're trying to work on behind the scenes. Hopefully we can get it resolved. And we will get ready to go back to green. Obviously it's lap number 10 when they come back to the line. Completed. Colin Weatherholt and others are there. Green flag in the air. We're back to racing again. Weatherholt quickly, Steven, back up on the outside lane. Back to the lead, hugging that safer barrier as they work their way again into turn number 2.
Yeah, that outside lane is the fastest lane, but you got to be really careful. You can't get too close to that wall. As we stated, you'll get that Darlington stripe. But here they come into turn 3 now with Weatherholt in the lead. Jonathan Cofield right behind him, 0.2 of a second behind him. These some of these trucks are still 2x2 back there. And I would imagine they'll go single file here shortly like they did in that first round.
Just kind of watching them all work their way again off the corner out of turn number 2 to the back straightaway. Here at Darlington getting started with this opening first stage. It'll take us all the way to lap number 30. Weatherholt, Cofield, Bruce LaBeouf, Thomas, your top 5. That's the way I'm standing right now as these laps continue to roll into the completion of the first stage. Weatherholt up in front. LaBeouf there. He's in that 4th spot. One of those drivers, Steven, that are in the playoffs in the Fast 14, But right now on the outside by virtue of the points, looking to try to advance right now. As there you see one driver, Austin Harris, has locked himself in to the Elite 10 semifinals. Everyone else is right now in the yellow, good by points. In the red, you're in the points, but right now you're on the outside looking in as we hit lap 15 halfway through stage 1, Steve.
Yeah, those are what I like to call the bubble drivers. They can go either way. They can jump ahead. Some of these guys get in, or their bubble can burst. But hopefully some of those guys can get in, which unfortunately means some of the guys that are already in the white area will end up not going in. But we'll have to see how that all plays out.
Another lap put on the board here is right now working lap number 15 of, well, actually be lap 16 when they come to the line here. Colin Weatherholt, there he is, but very, very quickly approaching behind him is Jonathan Cofield in that number 58 machine. Cofield hugging the top of the lane right there on the Highline Racing Toyota. Weatherholt, lap traffic up in the way. He'll scamper down to the inside. That's Craig Schroeder. He's had problems since the start of the race tonight here at Darlington. And right now they work their way, Steven, again off turn number 3 and 4.
Yeah, turn 3 and 4, turn 3 and 4, if you notice, Colin Weatherholt, he kind of stays down there towards the bottom along that dotted white line. Now, turns 1 and 2, he's been doing what they call diamond in the turn. He comes in close on enter, rides up to the wall, and then on exit he comes down to that white line close also, and then back to the wall as he straightens out.
You saw the graphic there before the scoring ticker popped back up of our coverage weekly of NASRA. Make sure you join us, of course, every Monday through Friday. Had a great time last night, by the way, doing the Daytona Halloween 500 for MMS Racing, the McCullough family. Of course, put out together Brady LaBeouf, Cody Knott, and enjoyed getting the last-minute invitation to work alongside as a back straightaway turn announcer at Daytona with Mr. Jacob Reeves and Tyler Dittmer in the broadcast booth. The archives of that race is available. I encourage you to check it out, especially after tonight's race live from Darlington for the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series playoffs. Check out that exciting race from Daytona. It was a good one last night, by the way, Stephen Bartlett. It was John Ward picking up the win for Hyper Motorsports, 0.0001 at the finish of last night's race at Daytona over Garrett Maines.
Wow. Yeah, I wish I could have been there. We were out doing a trunk or treat, they call it out here. I don't know if they have it out there in North Carolina.
Oh, yeah. I did a race on Saturday night at Caraway Speedway. And one of the races they did for double points night was trunk or treat, and had the kids come out, dress up in costumes, and then the race cars that participated, they put a bunch of candy in their cars, in the trunks if they had U cars or whatnot, and had the kids come down on the racetrack and get candy. So yeah, trunk or treat's pretty cool. I like that. Fun times.
Yeah, we've been to 3 now already, and we got 2 to 3 more this week. So that's why I'm going to be a little late Wednesday.
Yeah, and I ain't going to lie to you guys. I might be a little late myself. I've got a football broadcast obligation on Wednesday afternoon. Kickoff is at 6:30 Eastern time. Hopefully it goes by and it's done by like 8 o'clock and I can hightail it, or 8:30 and I can hightail it back home before the 9 o'clock start time for the NASRA Cup Series. I believe we're going to be at Michigan, this Wednesday night. But we'll have it covered somehow, some way. And again, hopefully you can join us with the events coming up here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Cofield, Weatherholt, Bruce, LaBeouf, Thomas. That's all the single file action we have right now for the time being as they work the back straightaway. Weatherholt now got Cofield on the inside for the lead in 1.
Jonathan Cofield right underneath Colin Weatherholt. Coming out of turn 2, heading for the backstretch, and Cofield can't quite get under him as that outside lane is proven to be the best run so far. But I don't think Cofield will give up. He's going to try a few more times, I believe.
They're going to try to go for another shot at it right now. Here they work their way down the front straightaway again up against the safer barrier. Colin Weatherholt, Highline Racing, number 11, leading the way. Cofield from Mumford, Alabama, right there in that number 2 spot. He is not a playoff contender, but boy, I'll tell you what, in the week slate of NASRA competition, man, Stephen, he has really showed his strengths competing and doing well at that.
Yes, he has. In fact, we got a pretty good battle, looks like, back towards the middle of the pack. Got a bunch of trucks there kind of real close together fighting for position.
Another solid lap working off of turn number 2 down the Boeing back straightaway, if you will. If you didn't know what Boeing is, Boeing are the people that make airplanes, and that, of course, is a sponsor at Darlington Raceway. That is real. Of course, it really mimics the simulation on iRacing of what the real facility looks like, and I've been at Darlington many, many times. And obviously, Weatherholt right now hitting his marks perfectly, doing exactly what the Cup, Xfinity, or Truck Stars do in the real world of the National NASCAR level, hitting their marks for NASRA right now, down the back straightaway, up against that outside safer barrier. Cofield took a shot at Weatherholt one time, backed away. Now this time he pulls the trigger on the inside in 3 and 4.
And Weatherholt on that outside, Cofield just can't quite get underneath him and pass him. That inner line is not letting him do anything like he wants. He's going to have to wait until Weatherholt makes a small mistake. I think that's the only way he's going to get around him right now as he flips the wall.
They have a little slip there into the wall. Weatherholt still up in that top spot. Final couple of laps in this first stage right now. Coming to the line. 2 to go. Stage number 1. And the ServPro 200, already one ServPro caution so far. Colin Weatherholt continuing to stay up on the outside safer barrier and lead the way as they got 1.5 laps left to go here in the first stage of this race. He's in the backstretch going to 3, Stephen.
Yeah, once this they go back to racing here after the end of stage 1, they will have to make a green flag stop sometime between the stage 1 restart the stage 2 restart and the end of stage 2. They won't be able to make it on a full tank of fuel.
Working down the Boeing back stretch for the final lap here in stage 1. Everybody gets stage points in the top 10. If you're one of those guys in yellow or red, it's in your favor for playoff points or stage points towards the playoffs. Nonetheless, they work off 4. Colin Weatherholt, the Indiana driver from the Hoosier State, comes down to the line. He will win stage 1 here in the ServPro 200 as the ServPro caution is also displayed to the field. Stage 1 to Weatherholt, and of course, it'll be Jonathan Cofield 2nd, Darren Bruce 3rd, Tyler Dittmer 4th, Stephen Thomas 5th, Brady LaBeouf, Phil Pappas, Jacob Reeves, Andrew Harris, who, by the way, already for Upfront Motorsports is locked in to the semifinal rounds of the playoffs for NASRA trucks. He is 9th, and Nate Maurer, who had problems earlier at the start of this race, if you remember, dropped to the bottom of the flat when the green flag fell. Stephen Bartlett, he'll come back, finishing 10th.
I was just listening to the drivers talking back and forth. The 38's been blinking in and out. They're having a hard time wanting to pass him because they don't know where he's at because he blinks out for so long.
You're referring to Johnson, I believe it is, right? Ryan Johnson or
Chad Ross.
Chad Ross, my apologies, yep. Chad Ross. So everybody's coming down on pit road, though. First pit stop of the race. Hey, this is what's to come this week on the NASRA 360 Racing Network every Monday through Friday. These drivers get ready to stop off, get some freshies, as Jacob Reeves always says, get some freshies, top off the tanks. They'll come back for stage 2. We'll step away. More from Darlington when we return.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Back here at Darlington Raceway, stage 1 in the books. Colin Weatherholt wins the first stage. The, of course, Monticello, Indiana driver for Highline Racing. Getting it done, but off the pit stops. Cofield was able to beat him off pit road there, Stephen.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. I noticed that Jonathan Cofield jumped out to the front there. Colin Weatherholt, little restart in second. Darren Bruce, Tyler Dittmer, Stephen Thomas will be the top 5 once the green flag drops. Taylor Peacock coming back down on onto the pit road, and that was Jonathan White or Justin White coming out of pit road. And the lights are off on the pace trucks to come in at turn 1.
Ready for the field to look for a green flag next time around here. This will be stage number 2. By the way, we're going to go all the way to lap number 90. This is a long stage of a race here. 260 lap stages or less than that, 55 laps or so. When they do come back to the Geico restart zone, we'll get ready to get going again here.
And they'll need to pit right around lap 78 or so, in that range. They won't be able to make it to the end of this stage on one tank of fuel.
Unless we get cautions, right? Hopefully we don't,
yeah.
But obviously there is going to be that chance of a long green flag run. We'll see about a 40-45 lap stretch, as he just mentioned, before lap 90. This is lap 35 all the way to 90. So get ready to come to the line. 55 lap green flag run. Green flag pit stops, possibly a scenario as the ServPro 200 stage 2 underway here at the Lady in Black. They're in turn 1 and 2.
Oh, we got a wreck in the back. Somebody just hit the wall.
61, Stephen Gregory in trouble. Stephen Gregory. Caution not out. Out of the race. Yep, there it is now. Now there's the yellow flag flying. Now there's the caution.
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't come out. Surprised it didn't come out center. He hit the wall pretty hard.
Yellow flag out. Here's a look at a replay. What happened? Blanchard's towing 61 into the fence. Airborne off the safer barrier. Slams back down. Scrapes the passenger side truck up against the wall. And there is the cause of yellow flag number 3. Another look at it again, Stephen.
Okay. He came down, I think, and got loose. Nicked the 25, I believe that was, underneath him, and hit the wall.
Try to rewind it one more time, producer, if you don't mind. We'll see it from this angle. Wonder if he had any help. Right there. Okay, there we go. Let's watch the 25, the 7 at Cary Tribune. They're all around the 61. And they sell off into turn 1. Now he lost it on his own. And then he bounced off the right front of the 7 bow of Cary Tribune. And you would think that would try to help him correct, but it just made it worse there. And into the wall he went.
Yeah, it looked like to me he overcorrected a little bit, and that's what put him up in the wall, because he knew he was coming down in the Tribune and still nicked him, but it could have been worse.
So caution coming out again. Working on getting things reset. Third caution of the race. And, you know, Stephen, Darlington's one of those tracks where you could see a long, lengthy green flag run, or you could see a plethora of ServPro cautions. And right now we're kind of seeing the latter. Third in less than 30 laps, 35 laps so far.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with the mood of that outside wall, the safer barrier, whether it wants to reach out and grab somebody and ruin their day. That seems to happen in spurts here. Like you said, you'll go green flag for a while, and then all of a sudden that wall decides to reach out and grab somebody and do it several times.
Let's take a look real quickly at the weather conditions. There we go again. It's just after 12:30. Track temp at 84 degrees on this October 28th sim day in 2024 at Darlington. It is 9-mile-per-hour wind and track temp at 84. It's not per se a hot day, but it definitely is daytime racing, and boy, that's a different animal than running at night here, even if the track has lights, Stephen.
Yeah, it is. At night, track temperatures tend to be a little cooler, which gives these guys a little bit more grip in these warmer temperatures, although 84 is not bad. I would take 84 over 115 or 114 any day. That's when the track really gets slick.
Yeah, by the way, weather conditions, including cloudy skies, 72 degrees, track temp again around 84. Hey, here's a look at the upcoming schedule. Boy, oh boy, there we go. It hasn't been updated yet. Oh my goodness, where are you at, Dean? Come on, brother. All these awesome graphics, and we're forgetting the schedule. I have to find it real quickly. I will. As we roll in to, yeah, there we go. Give me work. Give me more work to do. Like I don't do enough. I got you. So Cody is the one that's being held responsible for this.
And the
it's
lights
all good. It's all good. He was, man. We've done a phenomenal job last night. Last night was so damn fun. Really enjoyed, obviously, the coverage of the race and being able to bring it to everybody. And I got so many messages from people I don't even know, or compliments in the Discord, and they said, man, for Tyler Dittmer, Jacob Reeves, and yourself, Wesley, to be able to keep energized, hyped, enthused, and entertained the audience for 4.5, close to 5 hours for a 500-mile race, they were very, very intrigued and definitely enjoyed it, and I'm glad everybody did. And I'm understanding that I already got some other people, new clients, that are jumping on board wanting to have the NASRA 360 Racing Network and us trio do some other races in the future for sure. So, and again, don't forget the next big race for NASRA going to be on Friday, November 29th. It is the Black Friday 500 is what I was told from Brady. It'll be on an off weekend when the cops' trucks are off for points, and they will go 500 miles at Talladega, baby. Of course, if you do the math, that's 500 miles, 188 laps on the world's longest racetrack, Talladega Superspeedway, at 2.66 miles. And from one superspeedway to another, this was the first ever superspeedway built in NASCAR. Don't know if you knew that, Stephen Bartlett. I'm sure you did. 1960 is, of course, when this track was, no, I'm sorry. Actually, it was earlier than that. 1950 was this track built, Darlington Raceway. There you go.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I didn't know that. I thought it was like Rockingham or someplace like that. That was North Wilkesboro. I thought was older than any of these others, but that's interesting to know.
Now, believe it or not, the racetrack, Darlington Raceway, was the first ever. Harold Brazenton, Francis Tuttle, Mr. France, they were the first people to build a super speedway size track back in the day, and it was a dirt track. And of course, if people also could remember back then, the traditional Southern 500, which is now, of course, on Labor Day weekend, Sunday night, used to be on Labor Day Monday, and it used to be in the afternoon. That's the way it used to be back in the day. Labor Day Monday was when that race was, and obviously, what a show Darlington Raceway has put on for decades, man. Close to 70 years it is. Right now, side by side, we watch more history of Darlington on iRacing taking place. Battling Pappas, Harris, right there going at it. Look at this. Along with Brady LaBeouf.
Brady takes that lead away from Pappas. Well, not the lead, but the position away from Pappas. As we still have Jonathan Cofield out in the lead now, almost a half a second ahead of Colin Weatherholt. And Tyler Dittmer right on the tail of Colin Weatherholt, about 0.2 of a second back.
Good solid run right now for those guys as they work their way again back into the corner. Cofield still the Pied Piper up in front. Weatherholt, Dittmer. Bruce Thomas, top 5 as it stands right now. Down that back straightaway going into the Winston Tower into turn number 3. And currently right now we see another battle heating up here. Here's a shot. I believe this is Pappas getting some company. Or actually it's Brady LaBeouf getting company from Andrew Harris. Remember now, Andrew Harris, Stephen, already won. He won last race last week. He advances into the semifinal round of 10, if you will, and right now he is just out here racing to have fun in that number 87.
Yes, he does, and if any of these guys in the playoff run right now can win this race, whether they're on the bubble or not, they will get that ticket to the Elite 10 also and get that locked in.
Who will advance to the Elite 10? Remember, drivers in the Fast 14, you see them? Yellow on the ticker. Red is on the bottom of the 4 drivers that are close, that could be eliminated. Justin White, Nate Bowers, Sean Gregory, and Brady LaBeouf. And Brady doing a good job of all of them right now, if you will, Stephen. Sitting in the number 6 position, battling, of course, with the man who won last week. All this going on as they thunder their way up against the banging the boards, if you will. The safer barrier here in Darlington, down the Boeing backstretch as we approach lap number 50.
As we come into turn 3, Jonathan Cofield now has a 3/4 of a second lead on Colin Weatherholt. And I was watching during practice. Weatherholt had a strong truck the whole time during practice, and Brady was up there hanging around 4th the whole time also. So I'm kind of surprised that Jonathan Cofield has got that big of a lead on Weatherholt right now.
Look at that awesome graphic right there, if you will, Stephen. See it? You saw the name? Little arrow showing each driver. That's something cool, something you normally see in network TV broadcasts. Awesome job. Big kudos to a buddy, Dean Hopton there. Don't forget about the hot lap. Brady LaBeouf, Tyler Dittmer. Tyler Dittmer kind of hit it on the broadcast last night in the Halloween 500 that the Hot Lap podcast returning soon with another episode. There you go. And while we're mentioning shows like the Hot Lap podcast, don't forget also about the door banging download. Jacob Reeves, where are you, buddy? Jacob Reeves on the racetrack right now. Where is he? He's in 12th. Whoa. Let's find our buddy in the 12th spot, Jacob Reeves there, Mr. Producer Director Extraordinaire, and see where our buddy is. There he is, and the door banging download is available on major podcast platforms, outlets, including YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Google Play stores as well. Check it out. There you see our guys right now doing well in the 12th spot.
Right, Jacob Reeves is now battling Newton for that position for 11th as they come out of turn 4, come across the start-finish line, and Tribune right on the tail of Reeves.
Back straightaway on the back stretch. Look at Harris and LaBeouf. This battle continues. Going on for the 6th and 7th spot. Pretty good solid run. Another lap being scored. Cofield, man, I'm telling you, I am so surprised, if you will, Stephen, of where Cofield has just really turned up the talents in that 58. He sarcastically, I don't want to say sarcastically, but jokingly said to me on a broadcast a week or so ago, he's like, well, man, you really don't know that much about me because I've really been doing this a long time, and, you know, I'm really a good driver, and right now, man, he's really proven that theory right as we're under 100 laps to go, lap number 53, and he is right now up in the top spot here at ServPro 200 in stage 2 of the race.
Yeah, we've been watching Cofield the last few weeks now. He's really gotten stronger. It's been amazing to watch him with him and Colin Weatherholt. They've been battling it out pretty good.
Andrew Harris, again, obviously we mentioned him, already a driver that has advanced in to the next round. No matter what happens, he will be going on to, of course, that next round of the race. As Cofield, Weatherholt, Dittmer, Thomas, Bruce, right now the top 5. That's the way it stands currently. There you see the 5 truck, Screaming Eagle, Bruce bouncing off the wall, that Toyota. On the inside, the Chevrolet Harris, he's trying to climb into the top 5. Had a great battle along with LaBeouf. Now finally makes short distance of Brady LaBeouf. LaBeouf in the rearview mirror of the 87. The 87 now in the top 5, Stephen, as he goes into 3.
The leader in the 58 of Jonathan Cofield's about ready to hit some lap traffic in where'd he go? 17 of Brandon Bullock, I believe it was. I had him on my screen, then he disappeared.
Understanding Bullock is on pit road in the 17, so Brandon Bullock on the pit lane. Ross would be the next one in line that we were kind of watching here, is approaching again. Lap 90 will be the halfway mark of this race, but there is another caution coming out. Caution out. Looks like we got problems. The number 13, Tyler Goodwin, going around. Caution out for the 5th time. No. I think it's the 4th time now. 3rd caution, actually. Here's a replay.
$25.
There's
right there.
Wow, boy, oh boy, man. What was the 25 thinking there of James Kaufman? Kaufman into Goodwin. Turned him up under the fence there in turn number 3 and 4. Let's see it again here from another angle, Steven. Set it up for us. Oh, man, just a...
Yeah,
wow.
25 came right down into Goodwin's truck and just turned him like you didn't know he was there.
I got a feeling some guys might drop onto the pit lane, but right now, last time they pitted was lap number 32. We're on lap number 58, and yeah, here they come. They're ready to come to the pit road. All coming in. Wow, I'm surprised. I figured they waited another caution, if you will.
I'm kind of surprised, but I'm not, because this will now get them through the end of the stage 2 at lap 90, so they don't want to have to come back in again.
Yeah, Jen Swain is over there eating, so he's having a pit stop as well, right? He looked at me like, why did you say my name, Daddy? I'm eating right now. Leave me alone. Tail wagging. I got a little Shih Tzu dog. Right now, race off pit road. Weatherholt beating Cofield again. Dittmer up to 3rd. Bruce and Tiffany the new top 5 will step away. 30 laps to go in stage 2. This is the ServPro 200 and the NASRA playoffs for the DSR Electric Truck Series. More from Darlington after this.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
It's not, but it doesn't work though. It doesn't work. We're back here at Darlington. We're back at Darlington. Hey, look what's up ahead this week. Boom! Look at that, NASRA. Look at the graphics. Monday, live tonight. You're watching. Tomorrow night, Xfinity, Blanchard's Towing. The NASRA Cup Series presented by Premier Racing Setups. Thursday night, Goat Locker Racing. Look at the goat. Bah. No, that's a sheep. I'm sorry. And then Friday, the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series, all on the NASRA 360 Racing. I know that was a goat, but I made the sound effect of a sheep. Bah. Well, Stephen, what does a goat say? How does he say it? Nay, nay. Is that it?
No, it's pretty close to a sheep.
Is it? Well, anyhow, I digress. Welcome back. Lap number 61 completed here in the ServPro 200. He is the Viking in that armor. Put him up on the screen. Yes, sir. Zoom in on him.
Yeah, a
the
horse maze.
Madman. Yes, sir. There he is. Oh. And I've said this jokingly, by the way, when we were on commercial break. Stephen Bartlett was bragging about being the only guy that won. He said, the only win I've ever had in NASRA was at Talladega. And he said, then I come to the booth and I said, well, jokingly, you're the Neil Bonnet of the NASRA world. So anybody that remembers the Neil Bonnet, obviously great friends with Dale Earnhardt Sr., but he was one of those guys that really loved super speedway racing. And then he raced and then he crashed and then he decided to go to the broadcast booth. And I guess Steven does the same thing for NASRA, right? I guess, right?
Yeah, we're trying to get back on the track, though.
Where do you want to race at? What do you want to run? A cup car? Truck? What?
Flag. Yeah, I prefer the cars.
There you go. Back underway. Green flag. And that's, of course, another ServPro caution here at the ServPro 200. Cofield in the lead again. Of course, trying to win stage number 2. Closing in on the halfway mark of this race as well. Quickly approaching 87 laps to go when they come back to the line, Stephen.
Jonathan Cofield jumps out to a lead of a quarter of a second already in front of Colin Weatherholt as they get ready to cross the start-finish line. Still got some 2x2 back there. Fighting for positions with the Darren Bruce in the 5, Stephen Thomas in the 44, and a few others are back behind them as we come out of turn 2.
Don't forget, next week we are at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It is the Sim Racer Hub 220. The final race in the round of the Fast 14 next Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Again, tonight, Darlington, Charlotte next week. Make sure you check us out, of course. And big thanks to Sim Racer Hub, by the way. All of the stats, all the information, everything that I try to keep up with broadcast-wise is a big help thanks to the Sim Racer Hub program, formerly known as Dan Lisa, but Sim Racer Hub and Sneed Competition Design. Big thanks to them. Much love to them. By the way, don't forget next race tomorrow night for the Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series, season number 2, or season 3, I'm sorry, rolls along tomorrow night. We're at Kansas. You're not in Kansas anymore. Toto and the drivers will be there. The Darren's Nail Gun Repair 225 tomorrow night, right here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Of course, in addition to that, later on tomorrow or this week, we'll have the NASRA Cup Series, as we got a little antsy there for a second. Season 1 rolls on with the NASRA Cup Series, and round number 3 will be at Michigan next Wednesday, or this upcoming Wednesday night, Michigan. Concerns of Police Survivors 200. That'll be an exciting 100 laps. Then you got the Goat Locker Racing events on Thursday, and I think Friday night, am I right? We're going to Talladega.
In the Cup Series.
Yes, sir. Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series are going to be at Talladega for their race coming up. Make sure you join us. Can't believe it, man. They're going to be again. No, my apologies. They're at Daytona. I'm sorry. Hashtag fake news. They're at Daytona International Speedway, where we were last night for the Halloween 500. The Premier Racing Setups 250. Next race this Friday night, November 1st. That'll be, of course, the final race, Stephen, before the playoffs. Are we seriously going back to the playoffs?
Yep, it'll be this the final race before the playoffs for the Concerns of Police Survivor Series.
That's right.
And that first race will be at Chicagoland after this week at Daytona.
Watching another lap being put down, because look at this now, by the way. Look at Harris. Harris back up to the lead in the 87 machine. Harris up in front at number 87, up to the lead now. There's that graphic I was talking about. Look at that, Steven. Look at that graphic following Colin Weatherholt.
Yeah, that's nice to see. It makes it a little bit easier who we're looking at and talking about. I think he might have made some adjustments during that caution flag, and this truck don't like him. He's slipped back to 10th now.
It really is. It is so fun to see the new graphics and the things that Dean's working on around. I know he gets a little frustrated sometimes when the old man internet don't want to work the right way and it causes issues, technical problems. But man, people really knew the work, the time, the effort, the prep that Mr. Biggles, Dean Hopton, puts into it. I'm not trying to make him bring a tear to his eye, but much love to Dean, and he makes us look good. He makes us sound good, and we just be able to put out a stellar broadcast because of people like him, Cody Dodd and others. And pretty much the A1 guy is Cody Dodd, and the graphics and the effects and things that they do just enhance the audience to make it look better for them. As right now you're on board, MPI on the steering wheel, Jacob Reeves, there's the redneck announcer right now. Good solid run for him. Trying to run down Tyler Dittmer, ironically, the Hot Lap podcast and the Door Banging Download trucks right there with one another. All three were in the booth together last night. Yes, sir. Yeah, they were in the booth together last night with myself, and I enjoyed being the turn announcer. You know, I like being up in the booth, but I love the turn announcing gigs there because it's picturesque MRN, PRN material, if you will, Stephen. Being able to paint that picture, and we flow like an orchestra of voices back and forth perfectly, and it was a good time for sure. Raul Meza now trying to get around Cofield, vice versa. Cofield got passed by Raul Meza, actually. That's for 9th and 10th, Stephen, on the racetrack. What a run for Raul Meza right now. And ironically, the ServPro truck. Well, I guess he ain't ServPro no more. I don't see ServPro on the truck.
I'm wondering what happened to Cofield. I'm showing Andrew Harris in the lead now with Stephen Thomas behind him.
Yeah, Cofield fell back, man.
He's back in 10th place now. I didn't see that. He's back there with Colin Weatherholt. Maybe they both made some changes on their trucks that their trucks didn't like.
It is the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series playoffs for season number 4. We welcome you to our coverage on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. We have just reached the halfway mark of the race. We'll go side by side real quickly to thank Premier Racing Setup Shops, of course, your premier partner of the North American Sim Racing Association. And, of course, we'll stay right here with you. First half of the race done. Second half of the race now commences. And we're approaching the final 15 laps. Stephen Bartlett of stage number 2. Throw the green flag pit stops out the window because we had that caution. And obviously now we are quickly hitting the end of that second stage to lap 90.
Yeah, I was, like we mentioned, I was kind of surprised when they did come in that early, but yet again, not really, because we knew at that point they would be able to make it to the end. And now we got Andrew Harris and Stephen Thomas battling for the lead. Stephen Thomas right behind him, inches up on him, and then falls back a little bit. But if Andrew can keep this up, he'll be the stage 2 winner.
Kind of showing you what had happened to Cofield. Of course, that's why he fell back all the way now to the 10th spot. Here's the thing, though, Steven, still a long race left to go here. Just after the halfway mark, you were able to, get back off the schneid, if you will, and still plenty of time to make a run back up to the front. We've seen how good Cofield's truck really is.
Yeah, he had a good truck all night. That's what I'm kind of, him and Colin Weatherholt both. So I'm kind of wondering what happened that all of a sudden they're clear back in 10th and 11th. And Bo Tiffany coming up on Weatherholt to make him lose another spot. But Andrew Harris out in the lead. He's got a full second lead over Stephen Thomas right now in the 44. Nate Maurer is 1.2 seconds back from Andrew Harris in that 971 truck.
So right now, approaching the second half of the race, under 10 laps to go, by the way, in the ServPro 200 for stage 2 here of the race, presented by the Glass Mechanic, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that, so big thanks as always to the Glass Mechanic. Stage right now. There is Ron board with people. There's Raul Meza. Hey, Raul, say hi. Ole, buddy. Hey, you are, my friend. Say hi. Raul Meza. He knows I'm talking about him. Right now, Raul Meza watching him grinding the wheel there, coming down the front straightaway. Jacob Reeves. Oh wow, that's called multitasking. That's called multitasking, Dean. Every time he's running on the Cop Series, he's on his phone as well. So that's multitasking, Steven, to be able to one-hand drive the wheel for Meza and, of course, be able to talk on the phone. So way to go.
Yeah, doing that at Talladega is not so bad, but this track, it's a little hard to do.
Martinsville. Short track race at Martinsville, and you're going crazy on a cell phone at the same time. Boy, wow. Speaking of Martinsville, don't forget the NASCAR Cup Series penultimate race of the season this Sunday. I'll be there. The Xfinity 500, the NASCAR Trucks Xfinity and Cup Series will be at Darlington. They'll be at, Martinsville this upcoming Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Hey, did anybody see the Mazda MX-5 Cup cars around Martinsville? Steven, did you get a chance to check that out, man? Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I caught a little bit of that last night on YouTube. I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched like the first 15, 20 laps of it. But that was interesting to watch, them little cars out there.
First time since 1950 is what I was told, that they have actually ran open, convertible cars, top-down cars, if you will, at Martinsville. And it was a really, really good one right before the modifieds.
Yeah, when I found that, I was really tired and I couldn't watch anymore, but I ended up turning out the light and going to sleep after that.
I'll tell you what, it makes me want to get see if we can put together a Mazda MX-5 Cup iRacing event. Wouldn't that be cool?
I'd like to see it on Talladega or Daytona. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to watch them on a road course.
No, put them on a circle track. Put them around Daytona. Put them around Daytona, Talladega there. Yeah.
Or Iowa.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, hell, if you're going to go for the gusto and do a short track, do Bristol.
Yeah.
63 laps to go when they come to the line. Also approaching the end of stage number 2. Harris in the lead in that number 87 machine.
2.5 second lead over Nate Maurer.
Harris, Maurer. Remember Maurer had the problems when the race started? What a way to come back and get back on the grind of things. He's sitting there in that number 2 position right now. Phil Pappas third, Stephen Thomas, Brady LaBeouf. And there, of course, is the man that already advances to the Elite 10 semifinal round, Andrew Harris, having a good, if you will, Monday night drive, just kind of racking up points. And he's up in front again, trying to win again after winning last week. I mean, he could sweep them all, right? Kind of like Pokemon, got to catch them all, got to sweep them all. Harris.
Yeah, he could. The way he's been racing these last couple of weeks, I wouldn't put it past him. And with that 2.5 second lead that he's got now over second place at Nate Maurer, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins this one.
Harris still hitting his marks perfectly as we're approaching the final lap of stage number 2, presented by the Glass Mechanic here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. If you're hearing my dog, my apologies now. He's jumped up in my lap. He wants attention, damn it. Back straight away into turn 3 right now as we see, of course, the driver, Andrew Harris, hitting his marks. Ain't that right? Ruff, ruff, ruff. Ain't that right, buddy? Hitting his marks. Harris to the line. He will win stage number 2. Caution is out. Top 10 getting stage points here at Darlington. What a run.
Andrew Harris wins the stage, followed by Nate Maurer, Bill Papa, Stephen Thomas, Brady LaBeouf for the top 5. Then we have Adam Newton, Kerry Chabot, Raul Meza, Justin Lumpkin, and Jonathan Cofield, the top 10.
There it is. Those drivers will get stage points. There you see him right there. Winner last week puts himself in to another stage win. 10 stage points to go towards the playoffs. He's already locked into the Elite 10. Those points continue to rack up into the next rounds. And he will bring the rest of the field on pit road for 4 new freshies and topping off those tanks with virtual Sunoco fuel. Everybody right now settles in for that final 60-lap stretch here at Darlington Raceway. We'll step away and take a break. More from Darlington when we come back on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. The NASRA playoffs roll on from the Lady in Black.
you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Welcome back to the ServPro 200 at Darlington. We've had a few cars earn their stripes tonight here at the Lady in Black. And right now, we got Andrew Harris, the stage winner, as these trucks are still going around the track for the end of the stage 2. We're going to stage 3 next, and that'll take us to lap 160. So we got another 50, 60 laps to go here. Or excuse me, to lap 150, with about 56, 57 laps left to go when they come across. Lights are out on the pace truck as they come out of turn 2 or into turn 1 and 2, and they'll be taking the green flag this next time around. Andrew Harris had a real strong truck during that last stage. He jumped out to a 2.5 second lead over Nate Maurer. And our race leaders from earlier tonight, Jonathan Cofield, Colin Weatherholt, they dropped back to 9th and 10th. So they've gained a couple of spots from that pit stop. As we now see the pace truck coming into turn 3, heading off the track, coming up to the Geico restart zone. Andrew Harris on the inside, Nate Maurer on the outside.
Green flag.
And the green flag is dropped, and Andrew Harris jumps out with a decent lead.
Not underway. This is, of course, the third and final stage, as Stephen reiterated on. Final run for the playoffs in the opening, or the second race in the Elite 14 round. Right now, Harris trying to sweep again. He did it last week. Right now, hugs the outside, save for barrier. Another playoff contender. Pappas, Maurer, Thomas, Newton, LaBeouf, Meza, top 7 all playoff drivers. One guy's already in. He's the leader going to 1 as we approach lap 100, Stephen.
Andrew Harris takes the lead as he comes out of turn 2. Phil Pappas right behind him in the 88. That green and black 88. Nate Maurer in the 971 right behind him in third. Working their way into turn 3 and 4 right now. And Andrew Harris has now pulled out to a 3/10 of a 4/10 of a second lead already.
On board again with, of course, Raw Meza right there. Bottom right, you see him, Comcool Collective, 7th place. What a run for that Chevrolet. The Chico, California driver. What a run for him right now. Got a good solid run, playoff contender. If you can't win, at least be competitive and get as many points as you can for the finish of the race, Stephen.
Rama's up 22 spots, started out in 29th, and he's now up here in 7th. Battling, trying to get up there for that win.
Rolling on here with, of course, the third and final stage of the race. Remember, if you're one of those playoff drivers that are on the outside looking in besides Harris and you win, you're in the Elite 10 semifinal. But to get there right now, Stephen, you got to definitely be aggressive and make every move possible to get to the front. That's what we're seeing a lot of these guys doing right now as the laps continue to tick away here.
As we come up on 50 laps to go, I expect these guys to start fighting hard here. In about 30 more laps, when they get down to 20 to go, we'll start seeing that Nazareth Chaos. Especially here at Darlington.
As he calls it, Nazareth Chaos. And we got drivers on pit road now. That is Jonathan Cofield, the Mumford, Alabama driver. Is this an unscheduled pit stop or what, Stephen?
Yeah, I think it is because everybody came in during the end of the stage, so there's something going on with this truck he don't like. Trying to get his pit crew to work it out. Andrew Harris stretching out that lead to 0.3 of a second now. In Phil Pappas behind him, Nate Maurer, Stephen Thomas, Brady LaBeouf, the top 5. Adam Newton, Raul Meza, Colin Weatherholt. Colin Weatherholt's now jumped up to 7th. Raul Meza back to 8th. Darren Bruce in 10th. Kerry Tribune in 10th. Your top 10 in running order right now.
And right now, all of this happening with Harris still continuing to hit his marks, up 22 positions. What a climber. Another driver up through the field. Raul Meza, he's in 8th. Let's go check on him again. There you see that green, orange, number 37 in 8th position, up 21 spots. There he is on board with him on the bottom right. What a solid run for Raul Meza. I think, Stephen, that he likes the lady in black.
It appears so. And then we got Andrew Harris is up 22, as you mentioned. Raul Meza 21 spots. Kerry Tribune also in the top 10, up 15 spots. So we got 3 guys here that have moved more than 15 spots or more in this race. Looking good.
Pretty good solid run again as Andrew Harris continues to be the Pied Piper up in front. Pappas in that 2nd spot. Nate Maurer 3rd. Remember, Maurer had problems when the race started, but then he's worked his way, climbed back into the 3rd spot right now. And remember, those drivers in red. Let's show you, Dean, real quickly, that Elite 14 bracket. And once again, Harris has already advanced, but you see the interval of the point difference and guys that are on the outside looking in, like Maurer, like LaBeouf, 33 behind the good. So is 10 behind the good for Maurer in red. Not lady in red, Stephen. Men in red, driver in red, man in red. If they can advance and get a win, that will go from red to yellow and automatically a lock to join Harris. But Harris is trying to go for 2 wins in a row. Doing a really good job right now as we have just passed lap number 100.
Yeah, I think if Maurer can stay here in the top 3, or at least in the top 5, he'll have a good chance at getting that yellow on his name for next week. I believe next week is the last race for the Elite, or for the Fast 14 before we head into the Elite 10.
Harris, Pappas, Maurer, Thomas, LaBeouf, top 5. Newton, Weatherholt, Meza, Bruce, Tribune, top 10. Let's go side by side again, but we're not going to go to break. We just want to thank Premier Racing Setups as the dog is driving me crazy, barking in the background. What do you want, buddy? Come here. He's mad at me right now. Back straight away, they roll into the corner, and obviously thanks to Premier Racing Setups, proud partner of NASRA. And obviously, Steven, have you used Premier Racing Setups before to help you out?
I have not, unfortunately. I tend to do a lot of fixed races instead of Open A.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you use Premier Racing Setups and you mention NASRA, they will give you a discount, and the portion of your purchase also goes back into the North American Sim Racing Association. I want to believe it's 15%. 15% to you, 15% back towards NASRA. Definitely big thanks for them as we roll along. Stephen Bartlett, I am Wesley Outland, Biggles, Dean Hopton. You're not hearing him, but you're seeing all of the awesome sights and sounds that he's providing. By the way, my heart is broken tonight. If I don't sound like my regular conjovial self, I'm doing my best to hold it together, Stephen. But obviously, as you know, I have the Community Radio Network, my business that I've been able to operate for close to 7 years now as a company. And one of my almost original broadcasters, Bruce Barrett, passed away tragically this morning or overnight. And so we're hurting. My heart is heavy. Thinking about him and Miss Dolly and family, and obviously we'll be missing my friend Bruce Barrett, but still trying to continue to roll along. As they always say, the show must go on, and again, just trying to find a diversion, if you will, Stephen, to kind of not think about the pain, if you will.
Yeah, I think you're doing fine. You got that excitement in your voice, obviously not as much as you normally do, but our prayers are with you and his family for sure.
Yeah, man, I haven't really been this down since probably my uncle's passing in 2021, and then obviously probably when my friend Rick Eshelman from the World of Outlaws, very good friend, announcer, mentor, took his life on my birthday a couple of years ago, and I still think about him to this day. But nonetheless, we roll along here. Here is a look at what's up ahead Monday through Fridays. Of course, we got it for you. NASRA, DSR Trucks, Blanchard's Xfinity, the NASRA Cup Series, Goat Locker Racing, and the Cops Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. All of that on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Right now, we roll into lap number 110, and still Andrew Harris up in front, Stephen.
Yeah, Andrew Harris up in front. He's now growing a 1.2 second lead now over Phil Pappas as he increases that lead. He's looking really strong tonight. I believe he is the one that I think will actually win this race at the checkered flag and take another one home.
Yeah, still got Harris up in that top spot. Pappas in second. Maurer, Thomas, all these guys hitting their marks. Weatherholt now trying to climb back up to the field. Remember, he had problems earlier along with Cofield. Weatherholt now is up to fourth, battling with LaBeouf as this works onto the back straightaway.
As Wes mentioned, Weatherholt slowly making his way back up. He's got Adam Newton now hot behind him, trying to get up closer to take that spot back from him, but not looking too good right now for Newton, trying to get past him.
115 of 150 back down the front straightaway again. There you see Colin Weatherholt trying to get back into the top around 5. Uh-oh, trouble.
The 4.
Is that Dittmer? Tyler Dittmer's crashed. Tyler Dittmer, trouble in turn 1. The Gore, Virginia original driver now from Washington State spins, and the yellow is out for one of our announcer colleagues. No, we don't. We're still good. My bad. I'm sorry. Hashtag fake news. I said, where's Dean? Where's Dean? So I was going to take us to break, but we're seeing green flag pit stops now. So Tyler Dittmer with a problem. He's on pit road. Jacob Reeves now, Stephen, on pit road. Are we seeing money stops now as we approach 30 laps to go, my friend?
I think so. This is right on the border of that pit window before the end of the race. I figured right around 43, 44 laps, somewhere in there, that they can go on a tank of fuel. So, yeah, these guys are coming in. They're going to top off and see if they can carry it to the end and maybe sneak a win out of it.
So Harris, the man in front. There you see Raul Meza now in the 8th position, trying to run down 2 for 1. Adam Newton and Brady LaBeouf up in front of him. And we race along here. ServPro 200, approaching 30 laps to go. Don't forget Charlotte Motor Speedway. That's where we'll be next Monday night. Final race in the round of 14, the Fast 14. You want to make it to the Elite 10? got to win here tonight. Got to win Charlotte. And if not, Steven, got to hopefully make it by virtual points, because it looks like right now Austin Harris is trying to sweep the opening 2 rounds of the Fast 14 so far.
Yeah, he's doing his hardest to make that happen, and Maurer can stay up here in 3rd spot. He might be able to sneak in also, depending on how he does next week.
There you see drivers. There's Dittmer. Remember, Tyler Dittmer had a problem a moment ago. Jacob Reeves, you want me to bug Jacob Reeves while he's racing? Are you serious? Are you crazy? You want me to bug him while he's racing on the track? Okay, well, if the producer says it's okay, then the hell with it. I'm doing it. Let's bug that. Let's bug the hell out of the redneck announcer Jacob Reeves while he's on track racing. And we got the redneck announcer himself. Jacob, what's up, man? How's it going out there, Mr. Door Banging Download? We got beef.
Yeah, a little bit right now. Race control completely missed Tyler Dittmer getting hooked on the front stretch. So should have been a caution right there, but race control missed it by a damn mile.
Yeah. My goodness. And I think you've had some beefs with him in the past, right? I'm not going to name any names, but yeah, there's history.
Oh, yeah, with Tyler, yeah, for sure. I mean, nah, just kidding, man. No, me and Tyler, dude, we cool as hell, dude. Happy to have him recently on the podcast.
Tyler.
Hopefully you listened. Oh, you're talking about Bo.
Don't dilute. We got a caution out here, though. Don't go anywhere, Jacob. No, hang on. Hashtag fake news. We don't have a caution. We just got Kerry Tribune a problem as he came on pit road. I think he spun it trying to enter onto the pit lane. No, I wasn't referring to Tyler Dittmer, Jacob. I was referring to the race director. That's what I was referring to.
The producer. Oh, you're talking about TJ Moore. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, numerous times.
I was trying to be nice. I was really trying to be nice, part of the pun. So, anyhow.
Yeah, plenty of times. Yeah. Me and TJ, we don't get along. I don't reckon that good sometimes. So, it is what it is. I speak my mind sometimes.
Jacob, can we kind of let everybody know that what your plans are possibly for the after the playoffs for Monday nights, maybe? Fingers crossed, legs crossed, eyes crossed. Yeah,
plan is we'll see what happens. Everything kind of works itself out, but hopefully we'll be up in the booth calling the Monday nights with you after this season. Just want to try a different direction for my brand and to help Nazar out as well. And Wesley, I know me and you calling races on Monday nights, dude, we're going to straight up kill it. It's going to be the best show on YouTube, on iRacing, you name it. It's going to be the best show.
Must-see TV, not on network, but for YouTube for sure. And Stephen Bartlett's going to be along with us for the ride as well. It's always great. Stephen, you're not going to be left out, Viking, I promise you. We cannot lose the Neil Bonnet of Nazareth. We can't do that. Jacob, you know who Neil Bonnet was, right? I mean, you're part of the Alabama gang. You know you're Alabama all the way, so... obviously,
not from Alabama, but yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, but I mean, you know who Neil Bonnet was from Hueytown. But anyhow, Neil Bonnet, what he did from racing to broadcasting. Well, I said Steven's kind of the same way, man. This guy's a veteran racer in iRacing, and he said, hell, all I've ever done good is at Talladega. So I needed to get in the booth, and obviously, Steven, I enjoy working with him, race in, race out. He's getting better and better, and definitely it's a different vibe, if you will, and. All three of us together, that'll be interesting. And you work with Steven on Friday nights already.
Yes, sir. Work with Steven on Fridays, and the Viking always brings the energy, all that good stuff. So it'll be a cool deal with that one.
Let me chime in and ask a question.
He's chiming in. Oh, my God. First time we hear him tonight. Dean Hopton.
Right. Yes, I am not an AI bot. Maybe I am. Jacob, you've been down to pit road. Some of the drivers are coming in now. Andrew Harris, the race leader, Colin Weatherholt. Do you have to go back in at all there, Jacob, or can you make it at the end?
We're going to make it all the way to the end, unless we get a caution right here, and I'm lucky enough to stay on the lead lap and get the lucky dog. Then we're going to be in good shape because we got an extra set of tires laying in the pits, and we're going to use them suckers.
Well, we might have to let Jacob go back and concentrate right now. He's got a good chance of this because everybody's coming in at the moment ahead of Jacob. So this is if he puts those bank collabs in, He can get himself a nice podium here. The bubbly stuff's waiting for you, Jacob.
We'll see what we can do, baby.
The bubbly stuff is waiting for you. You know, Dean, that Jake is a hard drinker, right? It's got to be something more than the bubbly. So, Jake, go get him, buddy. Always great talking to you, my friend. Enjoyed working with you last night, by the way.
Yes, absolutely. It was a blast. It was a long one, but it was a blast. I promise you.
Well, I tell you what, if I had an adult beverage in the refrigerator after last night, I probably would have chugged some, but I didn't. So I had me some Wendy's burgers and went to bed and watched the rest of Sunday Night Football.
I got some money on the Monday Night Football game tonight. I don't even know how that's ended up working out. Maybe I can look at it.
Go Steelers! Go Steelers! That's all I want to say. There you go. Jacob, just stay on the air with us. Me, you, and Steven, man. We'll call the race while you're driving, man. Good luck. Maybe not. I'll let you go. Bye, Jake.
Appreciate it.
He said, damn, USC going to wreck me. That's Jacob Reeves, the Redneck Announcer, by the way. Check him out on the Door Bang and download every week on all of your podcast platforms and outlets. And, of course, what is it? Thursday night with Dean, Goat Locker Racing, Arca Thunder, and with Steven, Friday night with the Cops Truck Series. Daytona, Steven, this Friday night, buddy.
Yes, sir. Daytona's always fun to broadcast.
It is.
Got bumper to bumper, door to door, banging, and everything going on.
We have approached the Premier Racing setups. 20 to go. Here's a side-by-side look to promote them as we are in the home stretch of the ServPro 200 here at the Darlington Raceway. Stephen Bartlett, I'm Wesley Outland. We are rocking and rolling to the home stretch of tonight's events and the playoffs. And right now, Chad Ross is the man that is leading the way. Not a playoff contender, but my goodness, man, if that Budweiser number 38 can hold on, he'll be the guy that wins, but I don't think he can go the distance. He's going to have to pit, I think, here, Stephen. He last pitted on lap 92.
Yeah, he's going to have to pit, I believe. Lap 92, that's still 58, 59 laps out. Yeah, he won't be able to make it.
But let me set something up for all of you people that are watching. Chad Ross, obviously, we know has got to pit. So does Jeffrey Johnson. The second is Cofield in trouble. Slams the safer barrier off turn 4. Pancakes the passenger side of the 58. Still keeps rolling. We still stay green. Let's go back to this scenario again. Ross, Jeffrey Johnson, they're going to have to pit. They last pitted on lap 92. The race for the win, if we don't have anything change for the finish, Stephen Bartlett, is going to come down to Andrew Harris and Phil Pappas right now. Phil Pappas, it would be the leader. He's in that number 88 machine. Let's show him on the track right now. He is currently in the third spot. There he is. But quickly in hot pursuit is Harris trying to run him down the straightaway.
Yeah, Pappas right now looks like he's got about a 3 to 4 second lead in front of Andrew Harris at the moment. And as Dean just mentioned, Jeffrey Johnson's now come into the pit. So that leaves Chad Ross, the only one that has not pitted so far. And as soon as he does, Phil Pappas will take the lead. Andrew Harris chasing him down.
Chad Ross, Phil Pappas, Andrew Harris, Darren Bruce, Colin Weatherholt, top 5 again. Ross is going to have to pit. Phil Pappas is the leader. Pappas in that 33 whenever that happens, or the 88 when it happens. And look at this now. Jacob Reeves now getting ran down by Nate Maurer. Maurer on the inside of Reeves. 15 laps to go here at the Darlington Raceway. Don't forget, next race, Charlotte. Tomorrow night, we're at Kansas. Wednesday night, we're at Michigan. Goat Locker Racing, Arca Thunder. Where are we going to be at, Dean? Where are you going to be at on Thursday, my friend? He has no idea. He's just there. He just shows up. He's there for the party. And then Friday night, Daytona. Concerns of police survivors. Season 9. Final race of the regular season before the playoffs. Don't talk about playoffs, Steven. Playoffs.
Yeah, playoffs all around it. I think it's this is that time of the seasons that things really start to get interesting with the playoffs now. Everybody battling for their spots, trying to get in. Yeah, Jacob Reeves is about 12 laps behind, technically, if you want to call it like that, on tires. So, yeah, everybody's pushing past him. They all got fresher tires, and he's paying the price for it now for pitting that early, 12 laps earlier than everybody else.
Well, all this happens again. Phil Pappas in the lead. Remember, Andrew Harris, Weatherholt, they all pitted on lap 127, a couple of laps after Pappas. Pappas has a 1 3/4 second lead over Harris. There's Brady LaBeouf. Good solid run for him in the top 10. Look at how fast LaBeouf is running down Jacob Reeves. So much for the bubbly, Dean Hopton, for Jacob. What might have been, right? What might have been. You told me to! Sorry, y'all. He's making me sound crazy again because you can't hear him, but you do know that it's Dean Hopton that's talking because you heard him earlier. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Our Wizard of Oz in the NASRA world, Dean Hopton. Right there's the glass mechanic number 10. See Cole Henriksen. Right now, solid night quietly for him, Steven, in the top 10. He's in 8th. Whoa! I shut up now. Nothing more.
Getting that Darlington stripe.
Yes, sir. Brady LaBeouf and Henriksen was having a scare there a moment ago.
Watching Andrew Harris. He's slowly catching up to Phil Pappas. He might be able to do it. He's now 1.3 seconds behind Phil. Still chasing him down.
Solid run going for him. Pappas in the lead. Trying to hold on for that victory. Pappas now trying to hold on. Look, Mez, I'm proud of him, though, man. He's in 10th, Steven. 8 to go. In single digits now. Let's pick up the lead. Pappas and Harris. Remember, if Pappas wins this race, he's going to the semifinals, Steven. What a run for the Copenhagen. 88 if he can pull it off.
Yes, sir. He will be in there with Andrew Harris, who locked himself a spot last week. As we see, Pappas currently 8th in that top 10.
7 laps to go, by the way. Again, he's got about a second and a half lead over the 87. Steven, you can see him up in view. He's kind of trying to get blocked by some lap traffic. These trucks are up in the way. He's quickly approaching, I believe, the machine. Wow, Bullock gets out of the way or stays to the outside lane. Harris on a mission. But he lost a lot of ground, Steven. Look at this, man. He lost a lot of ground. 179 at the line. The interval now. 180. He's losing ground to the leader of Pappas right now. Pappas with 5 to go.
Yeah, he's losing ground, and I don't think now he does not have enough time to be able to catch him. So I think Phil Pappas, unless something happens, will get the checkered flag here in 5 laps to go.
Staying in front, 4 miles, over 4 miles remaining for Pappas. Harris, Weatherholt, Maurer, hitting his marks perfectly. Pappas down the back straightaway. There he is. What a night it would be for him. Can we see that graphic one more time, Dean? The playoff bracket for Pappas. Where was he at coming into this evening's race? Look at this. He was the number 7, +7 to the good by points, Stephen. But with this win, he's going to go green. He's going to the Elite 10 semifinal round. If he can hold on, 3 to go.
Yeah, he'll be locked into that Elite 10 right along next to Andrew Harris, who took the win last week. Phil Pappas now trying to figure out where they are at on the track. Looks like the front stretch coming across the finish line.
Penultimate lap of the race. Working in turn 1 and 2. Pappas in the mission at hand. The green 88, the Copenhagen Harry Gant colors. As Tyler Dittmer almost gets into a truck. In front of him, in front of the leaders. They race on. Here they come, looking for the white flag. Final time off of turn 4. ServPro 200. Can he get there? He will. 1 to go. Steven, turn 1. Phil Pappas, final time here at Darlington.
I'm really surprised at how these last 10, 20 laps have been, how clean they've been. I was expecting a little bit of Nazar chaos, but we didn't get any this time. And now that that white flag is out, whether the caution comes out now or not, this race will end on the checker flag.
Put Phil Pappas in to the Elite 10. He'll join Austin Harris. Here he comes down to the line. Checkered flag, ServPro 200 to the 88. Pappas wins here. He tames the lady in black. I love it. How about that? Checkered flag. Phil Pappas is going to the Elite 10 semifinal. Andrew Harris will finish in second. Winner of the previous round of the Elite 14. Or round Fast 14 to make it to the Elite 10. And you know what, Stephen? I'll say this as well. I'm not trying to say that Andrew Harris gave the win to Phil Pappas, but I think he definitely took into consideration, hey, look, I've actually already won the race. Did his truck lose ground running down Pappas? I think it did. But honestly, what did he have to lose by finishing second place in the 87?
He would lose bragging rights for winning 2 in a row. That's all I can think of. Nate Maurer, he should have moved himself up in a pretty decent spot for the final Fast 14 round next week.
There is Phil Pappas, the winner in the 88 machine. Harris, Weatherholt, Maurer, Thomas, top 5. Newton, LaBeouf, Bruce, Henriksen, Meza rounded out the top 10. Another good solid run. Some of these playoff drivers needed good points if they got to go into this final round in the Fast 14 at Charlotte next week. If you don't win, you don't advance. We know that now. Phil Pappas joins Andrew Harris. Bo Tiffany, Jacob Reeves, good crack catching up with him earlier. He'll finish 12th. Justin Lumpkin, Kerry Tribune, Tyler Dittmer, Fred Lester, Chad Ross, Taylor Peacock, Stephen, the top 18. Rest of the rundown as we show from the finish of the race. I don't think we can show any. Can we go any further? Okay. Who you got, Stephen, from 19th on back, my friend?
In 18th, we have Taylor Peacock. Finishing 19th, Brendan Bullock. And 20th, Jonathan Cofield. Finishing 21st, Justin White. 22nd, Jeffrey Johnson. 23rd, Craig Schroeder. 24th, James Kaufman. 25, Chris Branford. All of a sudden I can't talk. Chris Blanchard. In 26, Taylor Goodwin. Finishing 27th, Stephen Gregory. And 28th, Jason Morales. And TJ Moore and Cody Knott are your race controllers tonight.
Yep, and when it's all said and done, Cody Knott and TJ Moore held things together at the end of the race. I think, what was there, 4 or 5 cautions? I mean, it wasn't a very caution-filled race, not like we're used to seeing. When it's all said and done, Phil Pappas winning. Hey, listen, I'm going to take the dog out. I'm also coming up on the top of the hour here in about 10 minutes. Beagles, Dean Hopton, and Stephen Bartlett will carry you the rest of the way. Post-race interviews. Jacob Reeves, of course, always good being able to grab a word with him. Thanks to everybody at NASRA, including Brady LaBeouf, Cody Dott, TJ Moore, and Cody Dott in the race director position, of course. Bigglestein, Hopton, Stephen Bartlett, the Viking. This is Wesley Outland. Post-race is coming up next. I'll see you tomorrow night for the NASRA Blanchard's Xfinity Series, of course, at Kansas. And tonight at Darlington, Phil Pappas wins. He advances to the Elite 10 semifinal after winning the ServPro 200. The Viking will grab his thoughts when we return from Darlington.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
And welcome back to the Lady in Black here at Darlington. Tonight's winner, Phil Pappas. And we'll start off with the third place driver in Colin Weatherholt. Colin, how'd you feel this race went? I know you were up in the front for quite a while. Then you fell back, which was kind of shocked us a little bit. How did that all play out?
Yeah, just qualified really well up front there with Jonathan, and we both took a gamble on saving a set of tires, and unfortunately we didn't get to use it. So drove back from, I don't know, 11th there to start stage 3 up to 3rd. Can't really be too upset about that. Just didn't work out in my favor. So big props to Phil and Andrew for working their way up. I know Andrew started about shotgun on the field, so big congrats to those guys.
Yeah, we noticed with you and I lost his name already. Sorry, he was running right up there with you through most of the race. You guys going back and forth a little bit. He had a big lead there for a while on you, and then that's when you guys slipped back.
Yeah. Cofield was definitely, I thought, tonight the truck to beat. He was really fast. He ended up beating me out of the pits at the end of stage 1, and so I just settled in and run behind him. I could tell all stage 1 that he was faster and race pace than I was. So I think I learned a couple things from him, and we started stage 2 or stage 3, and I think he tried to clear himself coming out of 4 on Tribune, and luckily I made it through their little scuffle, but learned a little bit running behind him, and while we were getting swallowed up by all the guys that took tires, but it worked out, I'd say.
And who would you like to thank, Colin?
Yeah, big shout out to you guys up there in the booth, and Brady and Cody, everyone there at NASRA, and all the league sponsors. It's really awesome to come here every Monday night and have a place to race and a video to watch it back on Tuesday morning. So big thanks to you guys and everybody watching.
All righty, thank you, Colin, and we'll see you next week at Charlotte.
See you there.
And Andrew Harris, last week's winner, and coming in second place tonight. Andrew, what's the your mental state like coming from last week into Darlington, one of the toughest tracks in this series?
Yeah, I was just really happy to get the win out of the way, so I didn't have to necessarily worry about points. And going into Darlington, like I said last week, actually by far and away my favorite track. So it was nice to be able to race this one without having to worry about points necessarily. Happy with the second place finish. I really wanted to win. I guess that means that I don't have to start at the back next week.
How was that Premier Racing setup here on this track tonight?
It was really good. It was probably the easiest setup to run Darlington that I've had in a long time. And I didn't realize that it wasn't just a standard setup when I went into it. So I was expecting it to be a little bit harder. So this was super smooth, super fast. I really enjoyed this. It got a little tight at the end on that last run, trying to run down Pappas, which shout out to him for that undercut of the lifetime. That was amazing.
All right. And Andrew, who would you like to thank for tonight's race?
I'd like to thank you guys. A huge shout out to you guys and everything you do. Brady, Cody, all of everybody that runs Nazra. Like Colin said, giving us something to watch on Tuesday is the best thing. Coffin Confections, my main sponsor. Blanchard's Towing and Repair. And the whole Upfront team for bringing me on and letting me do this. And my fiance for letting me do this.
All right. Thank you, Andrew. And we'll see you next week at Charlotte.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you then.
Phil Pappas, our race winner. Man, you kind of came out of nowhere there at the end. I know you were fighting there in the top 5 for a while, and then just all of a sudden you took the lead and didn't hold anything back.
Yeah, I was just actually managing the tires, the whole, all the time there, and I don't know how it worked out. We ended up there probably P2 there, and I was able to undercut him there, and actually had the lead there, and I was able to hang on to the lead. Surprisingly, I thought for sure I was actually going to lose the lead there in the last handful of laps to him there, but.
And without giving away any secrets, of course, how do you prepare now coming off of the Lydian Black and going to Charlotte next week?
Well, I think it's going to be a little easier to race next week, right? It's a cutoff race, and we are locked into the playoffs, so I think we're just going to be able to go out there, and we're going to be able to be aggressive with the strategy.
Dane, you have anything for Phil?
Congratulations, Phil. I think you said you saw yourself with the strategy. Probably didn't expect it to pan as well as you did, but you went down a pit road back on 125. On lap 125, and managed to jump a whole bunch of people and maintain that lead there from the pressure towards the end. So congratulations. Get that padlock next to you, my friend. And that feels good.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, guys.
And who would you like to thank, Phil?
Just everybody part of the league, man. All you guys up in the booth, and this is an awesome part of the league to be a part of here. It's, probably well organized. So, I appreciate all you guys. It's fucking hard work.
All righty. Thank you, Phil. And just like everybody else, we'll see you next week at Charlotte.
All righty. I appreciate it, guys. We'll see you there.
Hey, Dean, any final thoughts on this race here at Darlington?
I was good. It was green flag racing, a lot of it, wasn't it? So it really came down to some of those pit stops towards the end and some fast-moving drivers through there. Of course, the usual suspects, Andrew Harris getting up to 21 places up there. Almost challenging for the win, but got stolen away from Phil Pappas with that great strategy. Colin Weatherholt had to fight his way back through the field as well, too, after putting it on pole. And always finishes with a good podium position. Nate Maurer, Stephen Thomas, and Adam Newton, also great places as well inside the top 10. Brady LaBeouf, it may be enough points to save him because he's on the cusp line. You got to remember about some of these drivers, too, that are on that playoff there, Stephen. They need every kind of crucial point that there is because it's the only thing that's going to get them in line on that, as you're aware, because we can look at that playoff bracket, same thing, and you can see, how important it's going to be for Stephen Gregory, Nate Maurer. Nate Maurer, of course, finished in P4, fourth overall here. Not sure how that went in stage breaks for him. And what about Stephen Gregory? Not very good, unfortunately, for Stephen Gregory. I think he might even had a retirement there. So P27, he might be out of the playoffs right now. Brady might be in. Might just be enough. What about Bo Tiffany? Bo Tiffany finished in 11th place. So that's going to be pretty close But Brady LaBeouf, I mean, 33 points down there. That not quite sure how many points you're going to get, but you never know, Stephen. So there you go. You do some mathematics on that one. Of course, sign up to the league, and you can find out all the information on the NASRA 360 Net Racing Network.
And of course, too, it depends on how these guys do next week. Also, if they have another good race next week, they can lock themselves into that Elite 10. Great race tonight. Few cautions, not very many, not as many as I thought there was going to be. Lady in Black here at Darlington tends to bring out cautions, as I mentioned during the race, that wall just likes to reach out and grab someone and send them for a ride. But next week, join us at Charlotte next Monday night, same time, same place. And that'll be the final race to decide who the Elite 10 are. Everybody have a great night, and we'll see you next week.